if I were regretting all the past relationships, I would never be married and having a son at the moment, right? Just like just like that, regretting that I. Let's dig into it. On tonight Night Ignition podcast, topic is regrets. And what does the dictionary says on regrets? Anybody knows? Should I be the one? What? The dictionary doesn't want to find. All right. It says two things. So regret can be used as a verb or as a noun. So as a verb, regret is feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that one has done or failed to do. That's like describes how I feel. Right? And a noun is a feeling of sadness.
It's so personal.
A feeling of sadness, repentance, or disappointment over an occurrence or something that one has done or failed to do. So yeah. All right, what do you guys hear when you hear regret? All right, maybe we should start so everybody gets into it, right? Like why are you two laughing now? It's because one of the things for me that is ultimately always be here. It's like my biggest fear is that I'll be left alone, doing things on my own. So as I'm now like, let's call it the team leader here and team leader for the stream and for other projects, it's like my biggest fear is that, people will leave because, it means that I failed. So in that term, yeah, for me, regret shows up in this term because Emma, like the verb said, something that one has done or failed to do or, being disappointed over. So it's like, me not being 100% complete yet with Emma. Emma said that she's out. So yeah, I'm disappointed over her choice. And yeah, it's like she failed me or I failed her in a way that I don't even know what I did. So that's why these two are laughing so rigorously when I read what the definition of regret is. But anyway, you leave that, anyway, we'll leave that aside. So what do you two hear when you two hear a regret?
When I hear regret, I would always say I have none because for me, whatever happened or whatever I did in the past led me to here. So I'm here with you two in this moment doing what I'm doing, and I'm really enjoying it and appreciating it. I wouldn't be doing that if I wouldn't do all the mistakes, all the stupid shit, so for me, I have none.
All right, but what would be your definition of it? I got it for you, but when you hear regret, what do you hear?
I hear bullshit. Because, when we have, obviously, I did, or I maybe in a second I have a regret. I know, oh my gosh, why I've been with that guy? That was so stupid. I lost 3 years of my life, blah blah blah, in one moment or one period of time. But then I realized I needed that to become a person I am today. So it's simply fine. But when we are stuck with regrets, we buy them as an excuse to not do something today, or just there was something happened to you. I know, girl cheated on you, and you have regrets for being with her, for trusting her, and now you're not gonna trust another girl again, because you have a regret because you were trusting her. So that's how I see regrets.
All right, cool. Guess who? Marcio is here.
This is the important
This is the important topic for you, Marcio. I don't know if you heard the beginning when Emma was sharing. But anyway, she will share again. We're now into what does regret mean for you, Emma?
Yeah. All right. So what's present to me is I will do something wrong or I won't like the outcome of something. So I won't do that, right? Because I'd regret it. So I find it as something that stops me a lot. I have a lot of conversations about regret, like all the time. And yeah, and I really need to like I need to take courage and my balls to do stuff. So exactly that's why I just dropped the bomb today. So Marcho, this is my last podcast here. So yeah, because it really took something for me to be like, all right, I'm not, whatever, even if I regret it or the thoughts that come up after it that are maybe not pleasant thoughts and feelings that may be not pleasant to me, that I still go through that, or, that I don't take it as it's gonna, eat me up like that. So, yeah, regret is something that robs you of your power, I think.
All right.
Now, no answer in the chat, so maybe Marcus not listening.
Or maybe he's, collecting the thoughts and what's going on here.
Or maybe he fainted.
Yeah. So, but yeah, right. So regrets are for me as well. Are like I could be on Ula's side easily, and then I can put myself into Emma's side as well. It's just like I don't think much, but like in a moments like that, with what you just said, this being your last podcast, I'm present to it right now. It's just like just all the thoughts coming up, trying to explain things. It's like in a way, it's even harder than, and it sounds like brutal maybe now, but it's even harder than to accept my grandpa died because he was old, he was sick. All right, he died. All right, let's deal with the loss, which we will cover in the 2 or 3 weeks time. But this one is like for right this moment. It's like it's oh man, what should I do? What did I do? Where did I made a mistake? Should I not be playing? Should I be playing it more like all right, uh, what did I did wrong? That's the regret that I'm present in our West. So I must have did something wrong. It's like that. I'm just sharing what's up now in my mind. How it works, how it pops up, and yeah, then it comes regret. Why did I invite her? I shouldn't be. You know, mm, you know, yeah, of course she did that. She's, no, my mind, I can share like my mind is doing explanation now. It's like, of course she's 22 years old. She'll do that and then she'll drift away. What does she know about life? Blah, 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 all that, all that bullshit to make you little, or any other person little so I can, so to speak, come out of top and basically admitted that, it is what it is. And yeah, my mind will react to it however we react to it, and doesn't mean anything, in the long term, and yeah, so yeah, it's like really alive for me.
For me, it's exactly that regret why I was so much battling with me, like that my mind was like zzz, because that's the exactly thing I'm afraid of, is making people feel bad, but as in, doubting themselves, or that they did anything wrong or whatever, because it's really not connected with anyone else except me. So it's exactly that thing that I'm battling with, to be like, oh my god, I'm gonna regret it then when the reaction comes back to me. And I'm just like, and normally how would I act is that I would just go with whatever I am doing, just for like the longest time ever and be like, I'm never going away, because if I go away, I'm gonna regret with what happens. I'm gonna regret the reaction of people and everything that I would cause. So yeah, I get you what you're saying, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's
I
exactly
mean,
what
it's
I'm.
yeah. For me, it's also because like we made an agreement in the beginning of year. It's gonna be the full year, and then when somebody goes out, for me, it's like it's a doubt in that person, like you know. And in
Hmm.
that manner, the regret. Now I'm present to it, right? If we didn't have an agreement, all right, we do this year all together every Monday, and then at the end of the year we go for the next year or not, then I think I wouldn't have that. But
Hmm.
right now it was like, all right, inside of the agreement, then expectation builds up. You were like, all right, this is it. So yeah, it's like it's a funny thing, and yeah, we will have a conversation because I'm definitely, obviously, not complete with it. So for both of us, if I'm not complete, then you cannot be complete. That's like the thing that we know,
Yes.
right? So the conversation is ahead of us. But anyway, Mrs. JP, I mean, it's not an unpleasant conversation. It's just a conversation to really be complete with one another and with the whole thing. Um, so, because I'm also standing, being your word and do everything in your power to fulfill your word. I mean, to honor your word, and you know, just inside of that, you know. All right, Mr. JP said, I believe regrets are a matter of how do you feel at the moment. If you are sad, disappointed, etc., you quickly find something from the past to regret because maybe you would feel better now in the moment. But when you feel happy, fulfilled, there is no time to think about regrets. Yeah, I mean, definitely it has the emotions attached to it, or the emotions then, it's always this vicious circle, I would say. You have a thought, then emotions, and then inside of that emotions, if you keep on dwelling in the thoughts and and this and that, then it's just like it's a spiral to down. And when you're happy, you don't think about it, because mostly when we are happy, we are present to what is going on now. We don't think about what happened in the past, or you know what will happen in an hour. You're just so happy at this moment. So yeah, really good point. All right, so going through life, right, Ula, and you said you were dealing with regrets and you were dwelling in regrets. What happened then that you stopped being in there and you just like, all right, I have a regret, bullshit, move on? How did what happened? Like, when did you discover that, and what epiphany, or yeah, epiphany, or I don't know how to say it. What was present for you that you could shift it like that?
One thing was that I was always trying to be different. I know, not just trying, I just was different. And they were like my parents, teachers, everybody would say, "Oh, if you do that, you will regret that big time." And I was like, "Fuck you! Now I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna regret it." you know. So that was like when I was a teenager. But like today, I see that my biggest regrets are actually connected to the feeling of being guilty, you know, about how other people feel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hardcore. I know that lots of people have that, and it's really hardcore because you want to communicate something with someone, but you are afraid that you're gonna hurt them or they're gonna be angry or whatever, and then you're like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that because I will regret that because of their, I don't know, anger or whatever, and then you don't do it, and then you regret because you didn't do it. So it's like a vicious circle. And I was like, okay, this is obviously not working. So I'm really trying first to always say to myself, okay, what is mine and what is not mine, and not taking their feelings like those feelings are mine. So that's the first thing. Like, okay, not my drama. This is not my drama. This is not mine. You need to like take care of that shit. You need to, I don't know, do whatever. That's the first thing. And the second is, I know, okay. I had a fiance. We were together for almost 3 years, living together, and we broke up. And I had a regret because I wasn't sure that was a good idea, or it would, I made a mistake or whatever. And then I realized that I'm not moving on with my life. I'm just staying on that point where I'm just thinking every day, was that a good idea or it wasn't a good idea? Should I go back or should I not go back? And that was like that for, I don't know, 2, 3 months. And I realized, oh my God, I can die tomorrow. And what I did for the last 3 months was just, stepping not forward, not backward, just being on the same spot and just thinking, was that a mistake? Am I gonna regret that? And I'm not living the life. So I just said, fuck that. I'm letting go of that. No more regrets. I'm moving on, and I made a list what I want to do in my life and really start like, okay, I'm going to do this first. What I have to do to reach to reach that goal. And first time in my life, I think I put myself first, which is a big big difference for me. So yeah, that's the process. I don't know if it has any meaning for you, but that's something that happened in my mind in the last, I don't know, 3 months. And yeah, that's it basically.
Yeah, and it's a great thing what you shared is because it shows like regrets are there for us in its nature. It's always gonna be for human being. It's like maybe in time it's not gonna be when we will stop having conversation about what I did in the past or what should I do in the past and I didn't do. Right? Regret is always about what should you do instead of what you did. So I should do something else. I should be blah blah blah. Do something different than you did because the outcome is not what you want it to be. So and it's like we will probably for us we will always have to deal with it. And yeah, but it really is a difference whether you deal with it in a couple of years or never, or you carry it your whole life, or it's like a month, or maybe next point it's a couple of weeks, then weeks, minutes, hours, minutes, seconds, right? So you go then to 0.1 second, and you're like, all right, it's a thought, don't even put attention to it. I'm up for this. So yeah. Right, thank you. I mean, it just shows up. Yeah, this is how it works, right? Emma, anything for you?
I don't even know what to say, from what she said, because she just put it so perfectly out there, exactly how I experience it, in that, that you're not moving anywhere, you're just there, and all that's going on is inside you, not in reality.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I don't have any question. I have no clue how to go from that, because it was just so, like, for me, that period, like, that's it, and I'm like, whoa, yeah, that's it.
All right, anything in your
I'm
life,
scared.
like, what are
Yeah.
you scared of?
Well, yeah, anything. I'm thinking that I'm gonna regret. I'm just scared that something's gonna happen, that something, is, or that I am regretting already, is that conversation that something isn't right, that there is something wrong, that, and as exactly as Ula said, that there is guilt, that I'm the one guilty of something, and if I did different, that wouldn't be here now. So, and I like wrap my head around it, and think bad of myself for it. and it's really just my internal state, and it really has no connection to a reality. Like, just all right, something happened, and a story about it, or my interpretation of it is that I did something wrong, or you know. So in my for any like real cases, okay, apart from that today, hmm, I'm really thinking about if there is anything I would regret that I'd be like, "Ah, I shouldn't do that." Because
No, but
usually
it's
it's always connected. Yeah.
sorry, but it's perfect also what you are saying in a way of, because regret is the future you're living into. Just like you are
Yeah.
already thinking about, I will regret this, I will regret that. So it's like the future you're living into is full of regrets already. So what happened then when that, you know, that is the future that will happen, and then you will be left with regrets, because whatever you are creating, I mean, whatever future you're living into, it usually then shows up in the moment, right? It's some specific moment in time and space for us. So that is also the from maybe the not maybe but the other thing of nature of regret. It's not just something about the past, but from the past you're already putting it in the
Yeah.
future, and you're already regretting, right? Whatever you're gonna do, you will have regrets already in there. So
Yeah, it's really exhausting. Like,
mhm.
if you carry that all the time, for little stuff, if you carry it with yourself, it's really Jesus. You're not, just like full stop to living your life, exactly as Zula said. You're just there in your head, and it's just spinning around,
Yeah.
and nothing else is going on.
Tiptoeing on the spot, walking on eggs. Thinking, so no, but I got it right. Is that what you were sharing? I I I totally get why you choose what you choose, and then I have a deep respect, and I know it took a lot of courage for you to say it, to do it, and yeah, I can simply say I'm complete about it. So that's it, just like that. Being here, you
Good.
sharing, listening. Just like, all right, cool. It's like life is a game anyway. Whatever you do, it's a polygon to test things out. And, why have regrets of not testing when you can actually, all right, be like that? And, if you see it doesn't work for you or you want to rejoin us again, I'm sure you will also communicate that. So that is it.
Thank
You
you.
know,
And now I'm also, yeah.
sorry.
Zula?
No, no, go.
Oh, all right. So I just wanted to also say that it's again that thing with me and doing some stuff that I already shared, but I think it really fits in here too. That I like my automatic way of thinking. If I make some decision, or some path, either I can say a choice, but sometimes it's really a decision. Some whatever, some path. If I choose some path that this is the end, that I can't then do anything different, that I can't switch the lanes, do whatever else, that this is it. And this is something that kind of keeps me trapped in it if I'm not conscious about it.
Mm.
That because it's all the time. Then regret is possible in it because that's my only path. That I'm going down that lane. I chose it, and here I go. And if it's all my fault, it's such a great way to put yourself down as a human being. I think to like to put the water on your fire so that you can't be any bigger, and you can just keep being small, keep being non-responsible, keep being in your little cave of whatever you're doing now. So I think it really cuts the possibility of being powerful and of living your life, of being the one that lives your life, not just going through the motions. So yeah, that I'm also present to. So yeah. Hula, what you want to do?
Yeah. I just remember the sentence, don't take your life so seriously. You're gonna die at the end anyway.
Yeah.
So it's something, so don't regret things, It's just a game, like Elna said, and you're gonna die at the end. We all do. So, yeah, for me, when I hear people, oh, regret so much that I didn't study that and I blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, you regret that, but what are you doing about it? Nothing. It's already too late, And I'm like, what are you talking about? You can still do, I don't know, a course. If you don't want to study, you can do a course. You can research. You can make it as a hobby. There are so many solutions. But now you're regretting it and you're acting small and I know, you just want to be a victim. That's the best thing, because I was playing as a victim before I did the forum. I still do sometimes, and then I catch myself or somebody else catch me. But now at least I see it. But yeah, I have some people around me that really leave. They really leave the victim life, and yeah, they regret so many things, and they just live in that moment in the past, and they keep saying it, and like, yeah, I regret I married that man, and you're still married to him. I mean, you can divorce him, better later than never. I mean, yeah, so
Yeah. Or let go of regret, right? Yeah. So yeah, right. It's like being in regret is just like being trapped, just like you both shared. It's total victim mode, and you know, people then do nothing. It's just like it's a really convenient excuse. It's really, yeah, I regret. No, and it's also in the way of, like, you maybe shared this case, like, I regret marrying that man. But maybe if you will get that regret out of the way, maybe love, there is a possibility of love or possibility of, divorce. Wow. I mean, everything is, it's out there. But while you're in the regret, nothing is possible. It's just like you complaining, that's what's possible, and being a victim, whatever the case it is. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we all have tons of cases when, we regret things. It was just like every heartbreak, every time we were being heartbroken, there are a bunch of regrets. What did I do with her? What didn't what should I do? Oh, I because of that, all the complaining victim mode. And it's really taking the power, like you two both shared. So I have nothing else to add here. Um, except that what I took on is, like, having regrets, like how it built for me. This is what I want to share. How it built for me was like, I think after high school, after I stopped professionally dancing. I mean, professional dancing. I was not professional dancer. I was never paid for it, but like full time dancing, the ballroom and Latin dances in high school. Afterwards, going to university, I was, I saw the opportunities. Like one of the biggest regrets, I recently let go, like a year and a half ago, was like when the Bitcoin came out. I wanted to buy it. I was thinking about, what if I buy it for 500 euros of Bitcoins at that time, and imagine it was 13 cents per Bitcoin at that time. Right now it's 40,000 euros. So the amount I was like, that is a regret. I wanted to do it. I didn't do it, right? But if I would do it, I would be a millionaire right now. I'm probably not talking to you guys here, to be honest. Probably not, because I'll be like, I'm okay. So a couple of that things happened, right? That then next was that like I also wanted to start stream like 10 years ago, and if I would be now in the 10th year of streaming, probably the story would be a little bit different. Uh, you know, and all these like you know the things you had an idea and didn't react on it, and then it's just like regrets. And while that was in the way, I didn't start streaming. I didn't start mining. I didn't invest. I was just thinking about, I keep missing the opportunities, and then did the things at the wrong time. Invest in the Bitcoin or in the crypto scene when it was at the peak of it, and then in 1 month, luckily now it's regaining back, so we are recovering and earning. Now we're earning, but it's like 2 years later, right? So if I would be acting out of regret, I would then just sell everything that I had in cryptocurrency. But I didn't, because I was like, all right, you put it in, it's a long time investment. It never was like, let's make a big money in 1 month or 2 months. So yeah, now it's starting to pay off, and currently everything is going great. But yeah, if that's the thing, if I would be acting out of regret, would never do it, or I would sell it right away. Or then comes this impulse decisions comes out of it. Not even choices, because choices without any type of reasons behind it. Um, so so yeah, this is what I learned. Then I was like, all right, I can regret not streaming, or I can start streaming. I can regret on not going on my own professionally, or I can do it. So yeah, this is what I would like to pass on to everybody who is here with us. It's just like, if you have regrets, all right, cool, you have regrets. Everybody has them, but you don't need to live from them. You're just like, be with it. You failed, so what? What does that mean? If you go play basketball, you miss a shot, you stop playing basketball. It's like it's a regret of missing shots. I'm not ever gonna do it again. I'm gonna do another thing when I'll be brilliant. You go play football and you miss a goal, and you're like, all right, I'm not playing football. It's not for me. We're regrets in football. Let's go to another one. Let's do something else, right? And then not you will do nothing in the end. You will be just like regretting and complaining, and then not taking action. So yeah, all right. You have a regret, act on it, and think about it, whether it's like it's important to you. If it's like adding on. For me, investing, it's like adding on to long-term financial freedom, so to speak. Just like having the passive income, having something work on its own, growing by its rate, however it's growing, and I can still lose it all, you know. But then what comes in is what Ula said, I'm gonna die in the end anyway, whether I'm a billionaire or I have zero on my account, and I'm gonna take anything with me. But for the time being here, and then being inside of, all right,
Yeah.
I'm a dad and a father, and a family to take care of it, and the pension that I'm not really thinking about it actively, getting it from the state. So inside of that, all right, taking care of that. Or I could just take everything out now, and I'll be in plus regarding in what I invested 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But it's just like in that manner, and it comes for all the life, If I were regretting all the past relationships, I would never be married and having a son at the moment, right? It's just like that, regretting that I invited Emma here. The future I would be living into right now would be like, all right, it's me and Ula for the rest of our days, and then Ula would go, and I'll be like, all right, it's me, and then I would be like, all right, I'm gonna stop stream. That's it doesn't, fuck that shit. To be honest, it would be like, just quit the project. It's not for me. Blah blah blah. But in fact, it's not true. It's just like, all right, when people go and people come and people go, and that's how life works. Nothing is forever, and it's an opening. It's always an opening. And I remember one course I took, the guy who was reading it said, look, what whatever happens, I'm open to new things in a way of he was sharing. So he's a big time movie something, not a star, but he's working in movie industry, and so he has a lot of money. So he's renting a big house in London, and then he's renting certain rooms out, right? And then they were talking about renovating that house, and then the owner come and said, look, we have a buyer here, you will have to move out. And he said, my automatic way would be I would panic. I'll be like, what? That cannot be. We just talked about renovating. Now we have to move out. And then he just said, and then I just stopped and I said, all right, something bigger and better will come my way. And then he found even a better place, better looking, better that, and he earned even more money out of renting that thing, and then renting and renting it, and then renting the rooms to other people, right? So it's just like, then however you want to deal with from the perspective of things. So yeah, that's for me what I'm present with now.
I really like it. What I heard, and also from what you said. Yes.
All right, you two are talking at the same time,
smart.
ladies. Work on it. Emma, go first, then Ula. Sorry.
All right. So, yeah, that life is a game. If you make it a game, it's a game. And, whatever happens in life happens. So what? A bunch of stuff might happen after it. Or you might die. Or whatever there is. But there is no weight on it. There is nothing heavy going on if you don't, make it heavy. And yeah, that you can make it a game in a way of who I never was in my life as a person, or as a being, and I would like to take it on, but I always had this little voice saying, no, don't do it. You're not the, I don't know, material for it. You're different kind of, you're not that way, So to really just take on being someone you always wanted to be, and just go for it. Try it on as a jacket, and if you don't like it, well, throw the jacket away. But to just be bold and just go for stuff. Whatever happens, happens. Fuck it, like that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to say. That people are playing small because they don't want to regret things, but at the end, when they die, they would say, oh my god, I regret so much, I didn't live the life I wanted to play big. So I decided long ago that I'm not gonna play small. I mean, I still play not big enough. Okay, let's put it that way, not big enough. But getting better every month. Yeah, and I always did some crazy shit, even when I was a teenager, like living the life on the edge, doing really stupid things. Like I went to another country, to the seaside when I was like 15, and my parents didn't know. I don't even know how we crossed the border. They still don't know, by the way. But yeah, I mean, it was, oh my
They might now.
god, it was like playing all in. I'm gonna live the life, and I'm still trying to do the same thing. And yeah, sometimes I fuck things up, and it's not really good for me. But I was thinking about love life. I was like, I will never love again. I'm not gonna open my heart to anyone because that was so painful. And then I was like, okay, but I have two choices. Or I close my heart and I never experience love again and I'm safe, or I open my heart and I experience love and maybe I will be hurt again. But at least I'm gonna live. I'm gonna be alive. So yeah, I mean, don't fuck the regrets.
Yeah, but they're real, right?
They are.
I mean, I just opened because I remember reading that. That also made me rethink regretting. It was like, the top 10 regrets of people who are dying. So they made this research based on talking to people in nursing homes, right? And what are they regretting? So number one is, I wish I lived for myself more. Number two is, I wish I didn't work so hard. Number three is, I wish I didn't hold back my feelings. Four, I wish I stayed in touch. Fifth, I wish I was happier. Six, I wish I cared less of what others think. Seven, I wish I didn't worry so much. Eight, I wish I took better care of myself. Number nine, I wish I didn't take life for granted. And number 10, I wish I wish I lived in the now. So, first thing that pops out is, where's the money conversation? Right? In our everyday life, there are two things we are discussing all the time, the biggest excuses for all the human beings in the planets and most regrets wherever we have whenever we are discussing time and money. Oh, it's gonna take so much time, I'm not gonna do it, then you regret not doing it. Oh, it's gonna take so much money, I don't have it, I'm not willing to put anything different so to have it, and I'm gonna do it, and then in the end you would say, oh, I could do it if I would put this and that together. Well, all right, just another thing that I do. It's a typical me, missing things, doing things too late, whatever. So that is like immediately what I'm present to reading these 10, and then being in everyday life conversation with a lot of people. So what did you guys hear?
What's number one?
I wish I lived for myself more.
Yeah, that's me. I'm really learning to put myself first. I'm
So
I'm
maybe
better.
maybe sorry to interrupt. Maybe to explain it, right? What they meant by that is that, so her that was, like I said, it was in discovery with the patients in nursing home, right? So that lady who did the research and put this was the number one. Her patients had not honored even half of the dreams they wanted to fulfill, and this caused them to have major regrets before the end of their life. They wanted so badly to knock other things off their bucket list, but they had to die knowing they still had dreams. So then it's like, don't die without your dream still in your heart. Don't die knowing that you lived for someone else's dream and stuffed yours under the rug. Live life the way you want now, and don't wait for anyone's permission. That's like every it's like saying where it's coming from, and then well, there, let's call it the epiphany, revelation, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is true, right? Because of regrets, we don't live our dreams. We're like, and then we believe that, or one is like, I wish I cared less of what others think. It's like, you know one of the most crippling ones for most of people, what others think. And you know what is the funny thing about that is that what's stopping is what I think about me. But when you really look at it, it's still what others think of you, because it's not like, it happened in a reaction, and it's not actually you thinking about you, but it's the automatic way of being. It's like it talking about you. It's like, the survival mechanism in us, it's like putting you down because it want to survive life and it's used to surviving. So you're going to keep on being into, I can't do it, I can't do it, I should not do it, it takes so much, the commitment, the hard work, the everything, and then keep being ordinary and being like the most of the people out there. who die with half of their dreams not fulfilled. And those who are dreaming, then we tend to, who are not doing that, we like easily put them down. Oh, he's a crazy person. Oh, he's a lunatic. You know what he did? He did this, he did that. But yeah, when you put those two people together, one is smiling, the other is not. One is having regrets, the other one is not. And yeah, will you upset people on the way? Of course you will. It's like it's impossible not to upset people around you while you're purchasing your dreams, because you're purchasing something you don't know how to do it. Because if you would know how to do it, you would be already doing it. So inside of that discovery, yeah, you will upset people. All right, cool. You can go and clean that up. Some people don't want to be, they will hold grudges for the rest of their life. And then, like Ula said, that's their game. As long as you clean up on your side, like apologize or honor the you dishonored your word in some manner, or the commitment, the agreement, all good. All right, cool. We got that. So yeah, I don't. I scrolled redeem sound alert applause. Thank you for that. It's like, but it is right. It's like we can.
Ula was saying something.
Was she? I didn't. Sorry. I didn't catch. She wasn't saying it before.
No. Before.
A long time ago.
All right. All right.
All right.
A long time ago.
Yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, was it different 1 second ago and 100 years ago? There is none. It's all in the past. That's the difference. None. Except we say it's different. It's all in the past. You cannot do anything what you did 1 second ago, 100 years ago, 50 years ago, or 10 years ago. You can do anything about it. It is what it is. So it's a long time ago. Why it's a long time ago? Because I said so. Do you agree? Don't. All right, cool. I get it. But So yeah. What else? Or maybe chat share with us. Like, what do you hear? It's like, probably you guys don't remember. Maybe I can do something to put all 10 together. I'll put them in the chat so we can all be present to it. Give me a second. So maybe anything for you, that any of those 10 stick out for you, like you were stuck with it, doesn't go out of your head.
Well, I still all the time fight with, whether the people will judge me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I also wanted to say, what I'm present is that now that you put it out there, that these are the top regrets, how easy it is to get hooked on it. That you, I don't know, that you keep it in your head. That's the next thing, that before you regretted stuff, and now you're trying not to regret it. Like, go the other way, resist this thing, and how it's not gonna make any like difference. It's gonna be just the same. So yeah, and I really like the one to be in the moment. I think that's for me, for my personal view of life, that's the most important one, to be in the moment. Because if I look at myself, like every time I am in the moment, that's it. Life is going on. I'm going for it. I'm living it. I'm happy. I'm doing whatever I want to do. And yeah, and I find it's like the most, I really feel free at that time. Or I just don't, I don't think at that time. And it's I don't know how to say the word, but yeah, it's like real freedom. It's a different kind of freedom. So that's what stays with me.
The one, all right, I got it. Yeah, but it's like, but how do you, because like what you were sharing just now, it's like living in the now, it's like almost living in the zone. You're all the time in the zone, right?
Yeah.
But then the tricky part is how to get to that. Because it's easy to say I'm living in the now, but you know where the now exists? It exists in your schedule. Without schedule, you don't have now. You're just drifting. You're just being like, going with the motions, going with the flow. And that's okay if you can be present in the now while you're going in the flow. But you can only do that if, like, you consciously choose, all right, I'm going to go with the flow. Today it's going to go however it's going to go, and I will enjoy it. Because inside of that, you will fulfill whatever you're up to in life. But if you're not, if you have a plan, I want to I want to be streaming 4 times a week. If that is not in schedule for me, when I will start streaming, if it's going to be a random click on live, I'm not going to be present to it. Because then I have there is Ursha, there is Ta, they have like expectations of me or want to be with me. Then there are other agreements, other things that I want to do in life, other projects. And if I don't have a schedule, it's like now exists for me in schedule. So today for me, I was really in the zone today all the time, because everything I was doing was in the schedule. It's like, and then even I want to make myself wrong. And I was observing, my mind was like, make yourself wrong. You didn't do something. You should regret it, and it had nothing. It had nothing, because it was like, I put it out there. I fulfilled it. Not everything that I want to do. I didn't do all the videos that Karina already had set up for me, right? All the highlights from all the talk shows and podcasts. But I did them until Monday. And I have two more occasions in my schedule when I will do them. So it's like, it's in the occasions in schedule that my life fulfill. All my workouts are in the schedule, all my streams are in the schedule, everything that I do is inside the schedule. So I really can be present now, because I know tomorrow already everything exists. And yeah, there's free time for random things. If anybody of a friend's call or something like that, okay, cool. Or I have 10 minutes while Ty is breastfeeding, I can do anything in that time. Because he's breastfeeding, he wants to have peace like every decent human being while he's eating. If I'm chatting while he's breastfeeding, he start looking away. Let Daddy be quiet, go do something that time. Right? And Karina said, the one that stay with me is not to take life for granted. Yeah, right. We all live like we are going to live for 100 years or 80 years or higher. And you are wherever you are. And you don't even get it how we take it for granted. Every morning we wake up, it's like, all right, I went to bed, I woke up. Right? That's how it should be. Unless one day you get sick, and then it's not how it should be. And it's so easy to forget that, right? Whenever we are sick, we wish only one thing, to be healthy. And when we are healthy, it's like, I'll eat junk food, I'll eat that. Then you get sick and you say, all right, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to live differently. Then you start doing it, you get better, you're healthy again, going back, right? Just one usual thing that you have.
And I'm gonna do it tomorrow, Like, yeah, sure. How about there's no tomorrow? What then, Like, maybe something that also connects with staying connected, or what was it? I got it as, keeping in touch with people.
Oh yeah, one was I wish I stayed in touch.
Stayed in touch, yeah. I wish I stayed in touch. Yeah, I'm gonna call someone tomorrow. Well, maybe not, So this is also great that you pointed out.
Yeah, it is. It showed up, right? I'm gonna call my grandpa tomorrow. I have no grandpa to call now. Right? Luckily for me, I lived like, all right, I'm gonna do it. We went to visit him. I communicated everything. So, I'm really complete with him. So, right? But you can have that about friends. or a brother or mother or father, and we all are driving on the road, the crashes that are happening. So yeah, I wish I stayed in touch is definitely one, right? That we are holding a regret or a grudge there, and then we're like, I'm not gonna call him. He should call me. He did a bad thing. He should apologize to me. I was a good guy. I'm never gonna call him. And then one day you find out they're out forever. What then? Well, you can only do the latter then, to somehow put it all out and from maybe read it to other friend or whoever you want to. That does work in a way to be complete with it, but it's totally different thing when you do it with a live human being. So, and we all but taking life granted inside of life, we're taking people for granted. We just take for granted my mom is there, my dad is there, they're gonna be there. My grandma is there. She annoys the fuck out of me. But, I'm not gonna call her because she always annoys me. Alright, cool. One day you will not be able to call her again. And then you will wish that you had a grandma who will annoy you. But you have fun now. I don't know. Alright, that's your grandma. Who gives a fuck? She wants the best for you, and yeah, she's expressing in a weird way. So what? Who is the weirdo now? Who will be the weirdo after she's gone? That's the question, right? And then we will have regret. Nothing but regret will stay there. Regret, guilt, everything you could do, you didn't do, and there is no way you can be present in the now with all these things happening. And then you will take it on the loved ones or your friends, or in the end, some people take them out on them. And then they say, oh, the burden is too heavy, life is heavy. Yeah, heavy of regrets, guilt, and bullshit because we postpone things. Right? There's a reality.
Real conversation.
That is the real deal. That is what you're gonna be missing out on, Emma. Every Monday you're gonna miss out on it. You will be only watching the recordings to see how much fun we have, and then you will wish to come back, and we will say you will have to go on your knees from your home to my home, and we will take you back.
Oh my god.
Well, Marcia, I don't know. It's like me and Ula are staying.
You were here, so.
If for you Emma was the point, I totally got it. But to each his own. To each his own. I told her So I don't know, Marcia. Maybe you need to pull some strings. I don't know. Have some of your friends visit her. Make her not to leave.
Oh my god.
I'm joking. It's just but yeah, right. Those 10, everybody who is here in the chat, take them down and just see how much you're hooked in each of them, and then go and live your life so you won't regret that. Right? It's really important. It really is important. It will also make a difference for everybody in your life if you will stay in touch. If you would rather call people than watch Netflix for 4 hours, 5 hours a day, or if you would call people instead of watching a movie that you did for 100 times and you have to do it for 101 times. Nothing is wrong with it. It just won't make any difference. That's the point. So Jana, yesterday we had her in a talk show. She shared brilliantly. I asked her is it hard for you to shoot the stories and do all the posts, because she's doing that? Because I found it hard. And then she was like, yeah. And what I'm up to is much bigger than how I feel at the moment. So that is always going to be the question, if you're up to, being a loving, supporting, fun person, and then you don't call people, or you don't do what you want to do in life, then it's like, all right, cool, but you're not fulfilling who you want to be, because it's impossible, right? Loving, supporting, fun people is like, you cannot be that without other people. You cannot be supporting on your own. Like, who are you supporting? Who are you loving? Like, well, fun. So what really stayed with me was one time somebody said, you know, if we are not with other people, we don't exist. And then I was like, the immediate reaction, how do you think you don't exist? And then I think about it. All right, if I'm alone in the room, right? I say I exist to who? Who is the witness at that moment? And then what I'm really present to is like, Ursula is now in the next room in the kitchen. I wanted to say something, I won't. Anyway, it was that cliche, You probably know what I'm pointing to, all the black humor people here. Right? She's sitting in next room, but me being here, it doesn't really make a difference if she would be in Australia right now. I don't see her, I cannot touch her, I can't talk to her, nothing. So there's really no, only the knowing that she's there, but I don't even know if she's alive or not. Right? Just like when you think about that, it's just like, yeah, I exist when I'm with other people, and so goes for everybody else. Just like, without other people, it's like, no, nothing happens. I mean, you cannot express love like, or I will express it to myself. Where you go, it is needed for yourself, but in order, not in order, but who you want to be, what you want to fulfill in life, and that's it. And not to put yourself down in that manner. Self-love is the next topic next week. We will say more about that next week. Thank you, Mr. JP, for saying that you are right. But I don't know. It's all the time there. I'm not nervous. But I can share here with everybody, just like, whenever my parents say they're going for holidays, my mind is like, all right, what am I going to do if they die? Like, every time. And then I have to be like, all right, if they will, you will find out how it, you will deal with that if that happens. They're not yet dead, so, just embrace, be happy, and have fun with them while they're here. But every time, or if, any of close ones said that to me, just I'm all the time like, but for my parents particularly, if they say they're going on vacation, how are we going to manage all the things, everything, deal with it? It's like, at the moment it's unimaginable, so I think there it comes from. So so one last thing to share on tonight's Night Ignition podcast before Emma and Ula conclude this. Ula first, and then Emma finish tonight's podcast officially.
You really got me on that one. Don't take life for granted, and because you remind me that when my grandfather died, he called me one day before that, and I didn't answer the phone because I didn't want to talk to him, because I was 12 and he was old and grumpy, and it was just like, oh, I'm just gonna pretend I'm not at home. And it hit me really hard the next day, because I was like the first one knowing it, and even though I was 12, and I never told anyone that he called me and I didn't answer, because I felt so guilty. And I regret that so much that from that time, even today, I never put my phone on silence even when I go to sleep, because I'm so afraid that someone is calling me because he kind of knows. I know how that works, but sometimes people know they will die. Yeah, and I realized after 15 years or something that I have a regret about that I didn't answer that phone, and that I'm really feeling guilty for that and everything. And I don't know, a few months ago, I let it go because I was like, okay, this is driving me crazy. It's, I'm like, my phone is always with me because of something that happened when I was 12. Um, and I think it brought me peace because my grandma was dying, and I went to her and I talked to her. I mean, she couldn't talk, but I talked to her, and next day she was gone, and I was somehow, feeling that okay, I didn't do the same mistake again, and kind of repaid the I don't know what. But
Completely.
yeah, it was driving me crazy because don't take people for granted or their life for granted. He will call me again next week anyway,
Or not.
or not.
Or not. Yeah. I had a conversation like this with well, not that no one died, but I I remember once sitting down with my dad and he was saying, you don't really come around often, you and your sister. I mean, well, that I show up a little bit more, but still, what if one day something happens and he's dead in his apartment, in his house, and no one knows, and I don't check up, and my sister doesn't check up, and what if no one knows? And I was like, shit, what if that really happens? So this is also something that I'm carrying with me, that, and I started like calling people. And also when my grandma was in hospital, um, during the quarantine, because her heart couldn't work properly anymore, and it's, and I remember just having this call from dad, and like grandma is in hospital, and that thought, oh my god, I didn't visit her for so long. Like, what if something happens? Will I take this with me, as as Ula, as you did? Will I be carrying this as my burden for the I don't know how long? So I really took as my new, I don't know, action. I don't know how to say that, but as a new way of, or maybe just trying to fix it, but it still makes a great difference to keep the connection on, to keep in touch with my family. And when I see them calling me, I'm so happy. Like, I wasn't before. Before it was just like, oh my god, they will want something from me, or I don't have the time to go there now. But I started to appreciate it, for them to call me, and for me to be like, oh, listen, can I just drop by, even if it's for a coffee? And I don't know, you don't drink coffee, but still, I will come by and just be with you. And I've started to really enjoy their company that I really took granted for before. So yeah, love your family, love everyone around you. And I absolutely love the thing that Yarne says every time after the podcast. So yeah, that's the deal. That's the thing.
After,
Yeah.
in the end of every stream, and
Yeah.
and to add on, it's like, yeah, but there's easy way of, don't go now calling people out of fear they will die tomorrow. That's not the message here. Right, it might be, but somebody might take it that way. It's not the message here. It's just the message of, if you want to communicate somebody with something with somebody, communicate it now. That is it. If you want to express your love, go do it now. it's like, people, one of the regret was also, I wish I didn't hold back my feelings. And that is what usually holds up with people. We hold up our feelings, and then we don't stay in touch, and
Yeah.
there we go. So yeah, you know the drill. The usual people who watch YouTube podcasts on YouTube, or only the show, don't know that. But after, in the end of every stream, I said, hug somebody or tell them you love them. If you don't have anybody else, do that to yourself. And that is how we conclude. And we can conclude now the official part of Denied Ignition podcast on topic regrets.